Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Sister Sonia, sister. Welcome in, everyone. Sister Tracy, I'm so happy to see you guys. I really am happy. I feel like I've been gone for a little while. It's only been a few days, really. Um, I'm going to wait for some of you guys to get the notifications. Hopefully, the notifications, I don't know, putting in some high tech internet, whatever around here. I don't know. It always happens in the places that I live. So if it's a little glitchy, then that is what they are doing out there. I'm so happy to be back here with you all this very beautiful evening. And we will take about 5 minutes to just kind of chit chat while we wait till we fill the room. And then we will get started on this message today. And we're just going to kind of allow the spirit to guide us. But I'm going to share some insights with you guys. Um, oh no. Okay. I was like, please tell me that I'm not muted, right? You guys can hear me okay. You guys can hear me okay? Awesome. Perfect. Oh Lord, they messing with the internet. Why? High tech. Why are they messing with the internet? The internet gods, come on, baby, do me right. Do me right today, the internet gods. Internet gods, do your thing. So, yeah, we'll wait about 5 minutes for some more of you guys to come in. I'm going to take care of a few things on my end while we are waiting. And I will have my announcements now while we are waiting. Guys, it is almost time for the Quantum Telepathic Healing and Psychic Development course. I am so excited. We are kicking this off March 14th, Saturday. I am so pumped, guys. You guys have no idea that all the stars and my spirit team and source, everyone is getting ready for the course. It's not just me. I think they're more ready. The spirit team is more ready than I am, and I just have so much energy just propelling me and this thing forward, where it is a divine appointment. Source said there are at least 3 more of you guys that are coming, and you've been on the fence. If you've been on the fence and you're wondering, you're questioning, can I do this? Maybe I've never truly tapped into my psychic gifts and abilities. Is that something I can do? Some people might even say that, hey, I'm blocked. Every time I try to even meditate, I'm blocked. You got to throw all of that out the window, because source will be present. Your guides will be present. My guides will be present. This thing, I make it so simple. I use a lot of backdoor methods. And the only way I got these methods is simply by doing the work. And this is what has worked for me. And this is what has worked for me as a spiritual teacher as well. So it will work for you too, right? It doesn't work for one person and not the other, right? And so if you have the heart to heal, or you want to help your friends and family, and you just want to expand your spiritual awareness, you want to tap into your psychic gifts and abilities, you want to learn, the Akashic records, channeling, remote viewing, and mediumship, and all of these things that we're going to cover over 20 different quantum healing modalities, you can email me instructions for humanity@gmail.com. I will send you all of the information for you to enroll. And if you want a free 20-minute consultation, there is a link down below. And you can do that, and do that sooner than later, because I've already given out the student logins so you can gain access to your course. You need to watch week one's video lessons and download week one's workbook and the audio workbook, and we will go over these things in class on Saturday. And I am just telling you, I know Source is going to do a big one, because apparently wherever I go, Source and the spirit team is there. And just like this weekend with my dad's service, Source was there, and I just felt perfect peace. I've been feeling perfect peace ever since. And things are truly coming together. And Source wants to bring a message to us today. We're going to kind of break away from everyone's talking about the same thing. We got to break away and we got to hear from source because there's a lot of noise happening. And remember, I just don't care. I know that's harsh, but this is how you alchemize it. This is how you kind of drop back down into the transcendence going through the eye of the needle, right? Is when you understand both sides and you just say, I really just don't care. Okay, transcendence happens, right? They want to hold us hostage energetically within the war and within everything that the war brings. There's a lot of famine energy that is coming up. People's stomachs will hurt and ache for food and for sustenance. You better fill yourself up with spiritual sustenance so that you will still get fed. Source said this day would come. I channeled it. I wrote about it in the book, The Cosmic Bible. Pick that up on Amazon, guys. There's a link down below. This is not for me. This is for you so that you understand the changes and why things are changing. It's because there is a force here ready to clear out the stagnation code, because we can't go to the new age of the expanded consciousness and to really exist within a higher level of awareness if we still have the old energies. This is why the Canaanite energy is coming up with the cannibals and the Epstein and all of that, is because that is the same old energy from yesteryear. All of the pillaging and the slavery, that energy cannot hold in the new expanded consciousness, because it's all about the sovereign I am. You understanding that you are part of the I am, and you understanding how you are interconnected into this whole thing. And in fact, we're going to learn this in the class. Without you, beloved, life will never be the same. It will be different. It may still be good, but it will not be exactly the same. When one person leaves, everything shifts because we are powerful. I want to drop into this message today because I think it's very important. Guys, one thing I would like to say, it brings me a lot of joy to do the quantum hypnosis sessions. If you have not had the chance to experience this, you have to experience it. It is the most healing session. It's a quantum healing hypnosis with past life regression and an entity release or removal. There is a link down below. And if you are stuck and stagnated, guys, I want you to understand this is the real New Year energy that we are now in. The true New Year is coming up in a few weeks. And I feel the potency of the energy already. It's all about exact change is what Source is saying. So welcome into the channel, everyone. Source is already here, starting in the new year, which starts in a few weeks. It's all about exact change. It's two-part. You can think about going to the store and you want to purchase something. You need to have the exact change. Why would you need to have exact change? You would only need to have exact change if by chance there was something happening within the store where they could not accept, debit card, credit card, or even did not have enough cash on hand to provide you with the exact change. So you're going to have to come in with exact change. The only way you will get exact change is from Source, because you don't know how much that said thing costs. You don't know how much that said thing, how much energy it takes, how much output, how much input. Source wants to bring exact change. And in order to have exact change, something in your life must change, must shift. This Iranian war is bringing exact change. There is a famine energy that I pick up on, and it brings me to like the stomach aching. How you get the hunger pains, but it's deeper than a hunger pain. It's almost a famine, and the pain is coming deep from in the, like, I'm getting the residual of the soul. So it's going to birth a remembrance for us to clean out, one of our third energy center in our body. which, think about it, root chakra, sacral chakra, if all of that gets cleansed, you're no longer living in scarcity and lack. You're no longer worried about food, shelter, and clothing and just, basic relationships. You're really expanding up into the higher chakras, stepping and preparing to be part of the I am. And we are preparing us, the earth children, to be part of a cosmic shift, a cosmic change, exact change. We are part of the exact change. And if you think about it, everyone watching and tuning into this vibration, you hold a resonance, I hold a resonance, we hold a resonance together. And within that, we have exact change. We hold something very unique because it is all of our energy. If you were to take one person out, it would not be the same. It would be slightly different. And so Source wants to bring exact change in this moment. And therefore, when we come together here, we can bring change because we are exact change. And what Source is saying is, you are exactly where you should be, you ought to be, you need to be. Because remember, I said one thing is the 5-night stampede that it talks about in the Great Expansion book is clearing out energies, starting from the people who have not been able to, really rise to the frequency, occasion, and the heart. The heart is judging the heart. The other end of this thing is there are people leaving to get stationed in a place where they need to be, whether that's here, leaving a different city, a different country, moving, or if you are passing away, but you need to get stationed somewhere else within the cosmos, because it's all about exact change in this season. That's the first message out. The Source would like to say, Morambo Sangara, Miro Sombara Kingbora, Yambara Sangara Humba, Yambara Samuro Sokaramba, Yambara Samuro Sakarane, Ombra Sangara Sambura Singara Hambu, Hamburo Hane Murangara, Murangara Hamburosa, Murangara Hamburosa, Murangara Hamarosa, Muramara Hamaroso, Niramboshane, Niramboshambura Sangara Simburasa. Source shows me an image of someone quilting, but it's not a quilt, it's done on like a board, right? So it's a little bit more of a sophisticated way of quilting. It's done on a board and everything is structured, even though the lines, are, in a lot of different directions, but the person that has the needle, they understand the direction, even though to an onlooker, it may just seem like there's a lot going on this board and the threading and the weaving in and out. But the person holding the needle knows exactly what the outcome will be. They hold the vision in their mind. This is what is happening. You are not here by happenstance. We are not here by happenstance. We are in position and we are part of this intricate web, this intricate, woven energy. And you are exactly where you need to be. I think I need to not only say this to myself, but I need to say this to, there are a few people and you're wondering, should I move and should I leave, or should I leave this relationship? Should I leave this job? Should I leave this old car behind? Should I leave this old friend? Should I leave this old, situation that is dead? You are exactly where you need to be. You are a part of the woven collective. Guys, everything that the cosmic Bible speaks of is coming true in this moment. The woven, you're either woven together. This is where like telepathy, we're all teleconnected together, or you are the unsown. You don't want to be the unsown in this season because you have no protection. The unsown, these will be the people when Iran strikes back. These will be the people, the unwoven. These will be the people that will be open more for the attack because we are woven together. We are exact change, therefore we are bringing about exact change. And we're not what? In the unwoven group. How do you become unwoven? Well, what do they always say? Like the church said, oh, it's sin that separates you from God. It's kind of like that, but I like to say the 7 deadly sins: the greed, the lust, the gluttony, all of those things, the envy, jealousy. That is what separates you from the light. That is what keeps you in, base consciousness, in survival consciousness. So the unwoven, the people who have separated themselves by lowering their field, they will be more easily be able to be attacked because they're not teleconnected to a collective. And over here in this collective soul body, we are putting in high vibrational things. In fact, you know how many times that people that just watch me on YouTube, but also people who had sessions with me, say, hey, I needed help. I saw you in my dream. You came to help me. I was in my dream and I called out. I said, Tahira, and she was there. Like, because we are woven, guys. We are all connected. And this is why I love to teach about this telepathy. And I love how it sneaks up on you. The telepathy will sneak up on you when you're in the class, just as the weeks progress, because what it is that we are cultivating an energy field. This is how you become telepathic with someone. You are in the energy field and you have awareness. We have our own energy fields, but as we cultivate in the class or in a group or just within a vibration, there's a sub energy field that is building and that is vibrating and that has codes and therefore has direction, and therefore you can find it, right? And this is the difference in this season: the unwoven and the woven. The wheat from the chaff has been separated. That is what the war is. That is what the whole thing that led up to this, even starting from 9/11, it was a slow progression to really truly weed out the energy. And Source is the commander in chief. The energy, the supreme goodness of the cosmos is the one that is doing this. And it's all just being played out by our 3D vessels. And so just remember, you are exact change. Someone say in the comments, I am exact change. When you have exact change, your currency will always be accepted. Doesn't even matter if the other person is broke down. Doesn't even matter if the machine is broke down, if the credit system goes down, if the banks go down. When you have exact change, you're always in. Always. And so therefore, do not be saddened in this time. That's what they want. They're hoping to lower you here and then destiny swap, right? To steal your image and your likeness with the AI, right? Mira sambuakara, mira sabora singoro humbara, miro soboro sokoro sungara, mura tambo sumba, muro samboro sunkara manni, amboro sungara lelambona, yamboro songara. It's like catching a football, right? You know how, like, if you play it, I don't even know all about football, but you know how I think the quarterback, I think, catches the ball, but like when they're right up, when I don't know who it is, but they have their hands like this, and then they put the ball, I think, between their legs, and this person catches it, and then I think they throw the ball. This is where we are. They're not throwing it from way back where you don't have to catch it from far away, is what Source is saying. No, it's just like hike. It's just right here. The ball is right here. You're being handed the ball. The ball is in your court. You've been handed the ball by Source. You have the ball. We are literally separating the cabal, the bow because you have the ball. The part of the game that they have been skewing, manipulating, lying, doing horrific things, we have taken that part. I truly believe here on this channel we have done this. I believe it. Because remember, what do I teach? Once you bring awareness to something, once you shine light, now there's truth. Energies, the reason why they can do what they do is because it's hidden in the dark. They can thrive when it's secret. The moment you expand that and you actually can see what's happening, then they have to scatter from that energy field. And either they find a new place to roam and destroy, or they go, back through the portal that they came in, or in the abyss or whatever, but they can't stay here. And I believe we've done this work on this channel. I know that we have, because Source is saying it in this moment. So I'm here to tell all of you guys, job well done. Job well done. So we have the ball. We have taken the cabal and we have shifted it, and we have taken the ugly parts out and we removed it so that it would separate, us from them. We are essentially breaking their tools. One of those tools that, it speaks about in the Cosmic Bible is we have been dismantling religion. And Source always said we were going to get to do this. There would be a time where the energy field was ripe enough to start to dismantle this thing, because it's hiding God from you. And it's hiding you from you. Because remember, it is you waiting on you. Because God is something that has to be experienced. It is an action word, truly. So you have to do good works to experience God, the goodness of God. So you are being handed the ball by Source. So no longer are the days where they could skew those things. And they took the ball, and they played a dirty game with it. We're taking that back. Do not be saddened in this moment, because there is much to do. There is much for you to gain in this season, this new year. I feel the energy of this new year is powerful. Their war can't stop. Their gas prices won't stop. You have the ball. You have exact change. A lot of people, there will be some swift changes about to take place in your life. If you can listen to this message, sink into this vibration. This is a vibration right now. This is what Source is saying. These words that Source is speaking, Source wants you to catch the vibration of this. Source wants you to sit with the vibration, because it is a gifting for you to have, because you are going to get exact change. There will be change. And when something changes in your life, it will be exact. You won't have to, let's say you move into a new place and you're like, oh, where am I going to fit my old couch and my old thing? No, everything's going to be exact. The measurements is going to be exact. So you're just going to go from one thing to the next thing, and it will be seamless, exact change. You have to believe it. You have to pick up what I'm throwing down. Pick up the resonance. Pick up, there's an energy. I can feel the energy being emitted from this message. It's a very high vibrational message. Not only can I feel it, I can hear it. How can you hear it, you might ask? That ambient sound that's just happening all the time. We tune it out. But if you tune into stillness, into breath, right, awareness, then you can catch the frequency that's being broadcasted, and you will also be receiving the exact change. Okay? And do not worry. Some people email me. Do not worry if you can't catch everything of what I'm saying. This is sphere of consciousness, right? So you have to understand that, some things, are not for you right now. but it doesn't mean that it will not be for you later. These messages are timeless, and they will meet you, and they will circle back when you are ready. Because when the student is ready, the teacher will always appear. Always. You see how we are reframing everything now. This is the season that we're in. Then I feel the new age. I truly believe that the Charlie Kirk psyop brought us through the eye of the needle. We started off very much, we had to point out, okay, Charlie's gone. We had to point out some things he said. Then we had to point out other players in the game, and maybe they weren't also as clean as we thought. And so now we were able to see the duality. And it brought a little bit when we started to explore, Candace Owens and then Erica Kirk and then some of the other people. It equalized and neutralized even a lot of the stuff that Charlie was saying that we initially didn't like, because now we see the full scope, the polarity of it. And Charlie was almost a victim of his own mind, because I believe some people got a hold of him when he was younger. They start feeding him these scripts, these lines. And so that's what I'm getting. But all of this, like I said, starting originally back from 9/11 up into this energy, there's been a progression, and all of these events have truly helped us collapse the old paradigm and timelines. We had to see the cabal in action. We had to see the separation, right, of humans and non-humans. We had to see that. And now this new year that is upon us is saying there isn't any work for you to do. We've already done it here. I am telling you, if you can believe, if you can just trust in everything good, in everything of light, and in everything that is propelling you higher and higher and forward, you will go into your season of exact change. That's where I'm going. That's what sources give this message right now. So if you're listening to it, you may be going there too. Everything, the ball is being handed to you. You don't have to run long and then catch the impossible catch and then go through the 10 different players that are chasing you down to tackle you and jump into the end zone. Like, no, we already did all of that stuff. It was too complicated and tiring. But you did it because you wanted it, because you are a fighter. And the reason why you're getting exact change in this new season is because of the efforts and the energy that you have already put forth. Because remember what happens at the end of the age. The energy that you put out will meet you at the beginning of the new age. So if you've been doing good over this past, since, like I said, this chunk of time, since September 11th, was that 2001. If you've been putting out mostly good things there, the energy now springs forward into the new age. And this is why you're receiving the exact change. You've already done the work. You've done it already. You have to know that. You have to know that it is done. Someone say it is done. It is done. And there may be energies that leave your life. You may be guided to leave certain energies. But it's only because there is a place that Source wants to prepare for you. And it's just for your energy field. And it's just for your energy field and the other people's energy field that you will be in communion with. There's a holy communion coming. There is community coming. This war will bring us closer. It will bring us back to a communal people. Because here in America, everything is separate. People are separate. Everyone's over here in their separate bubble and separate places and all of that. No, we have to gather again. And so you will have exact change, and the other people that have exact change will meet up and evoke the change in these communal spaces and communal energy fields as well. Everything good is coming. It is coming. It is here, in fact. It is here. Mirombani, morobada kambura singara, ombra sangere, ombra samuraka, ombra samuro, ombra samarasa, ombra samuro, ombra samarahane, ombra samurahane sambo, ombra kingara, bamboana, baboaneaha, nira sambura shimboana, ingara munane, ingara mara sangera hamburo sombata, hombra samaresina, angeresina, ombra sabota, karamita, yambese tingra, yaniresi, one sanga, yingara montena, yingara mosenane, yimbura sangara hani, hikanere simburata, yingara lambuenere shingara, onereta, hundire, hindira, hamburo sangara, hundre la bossane la lambora kera, hundre la mora sangre hinga, anere hani hina, hundre hani hina, mora sangara. There truly is nothing to worry about. Like, so it's tapping into some Middle Eastern ancestry, right? And just kind of very old world ancestry, and also some native indigenous ancestry as well. These are the things right now. It's a massive DNA upgrade going on. And we're getting access to some of our early codes as a collective soul body. Because remember, you are just in a body, but your DNA structure and your DNA, that really tells the story of where your soul has been. And regardless of what country you may find yourself in, you know, with these invisible borders, you know, we truly are part of all things. And we were once in, you know, in a certain geographic location, you know, when, you know, humanity started, and we have access to that DNA is what I'm saying. We have a lot of access to our indigenous DNA. This is why when a lot of you guys come into sessions, it doesn't even matter your race or nationality. There's a lot of indigenous chanting, like in my light language, right? These very like shamanic energy. It's because it's DNA coming out. It's and I'm always channeling from your ancestors, right? Your DNA. And these, we will get access to that. Do you think, because a lot of people think we're going to be ruined when AI comes. No, you're getting access to your records. AI will be here and the robots will be here, but you're getting access to your DNA records, to some of the very magical times in our history. I'm talking when we were mapping the stars. We were mapping the sun. We were calculating the time. These are all things, you know, and that really came from the ancient Mesopotamia, right? These are all things that we are now coming into a remembrance, because the exact change, this is why you're getting these records, because you're going to need it. And so you will always have something that AI cannot, you know, duplicate, or I'm hearing incinerate. You will always have it. When you are spiritual and you are on this path, you will not go without. You have exact change. This is the message, you know. It truly is the message. My heart is just so full. It's so full. There's so much like love here, and reverence and appreciation and gratitude. And I don't know why, but I know that this is the energy field that I want to be in, but it feels like of where I am going, I have to take those fruits of the Spirit with me in order to receive it, right? That's part of the exact change. And as shall you do the same as well. There is no way to be able to transmute and to alchemize the energy in the earth, right? that is being put out right now. You know this is from source. You know that this is a calling. It is a timing. There's a time for everything under the sun. And now it is a time for you to receive the favor, the exact change from source, because you have changed. Because you have shifted, then you get to experience that. God is an action word that has to be experienced when you do good works, because you did good works. That energy meets you in the new age, and then you start there. That's the energy that you're working with. We get new energy. We get fresh energy. Every time there is an energetic shift, there's fresh energy, but the energy is the energy that you put out. And I am feeling that energy come back in for me. And it's a good energy. So this is what I get at the beginning of the new age, because this is what I put out in the last age. And it don't mean you have to be perfect, but it just means that you have to be trying and in gratitude, in thanksgiving. Then that's what you get that springs forward, right? Did our clocks just spring forward, guys? Did our clocks spring forward or back? Something with this, spring forward. Yes, time sprang forward. 2026, Sunday, March 8th. Okay. This is the energy I'm feeling. Remember how I kept saying that they took a lot of time from us? The 30 to 50 years is missing. Right? Something very powerful happened on 3/8. I feel the shift. I feel the shift. So there's something about the spring forward energy, like what I just described, but instead of it just being an energy that happens once a year, this feels like the energy, the time change is from the past 20 years or so. That's what it feels like. And if you notice, the past 20 years, well, at least for myself, over 20 years, this is exactly when all of the spiritual stuff, like just getting on the spiritual path and journey, becoming more aware with myself. You know, the awareness, right? It's becoming one with yourself, you know? And then self-mastery is when you master your own thoughts. When you can tame that dragon, right? And by the way, that's another thing that's coming online. Mine came online last year. When that dragon DNA came online last year, it allowed me to see even more about the truths of religion and even about the truths of God. And I was very, very sure that, yeah, most people are worshiping the lesser God, because God is almost somewhat a title, and gods have to be made. But source gives birth to itself. Because you and I, we can make someone a god. Like Michael Jackson, you know, if you exert enough energy to one said thing, then it makes them larger than life. So the lesser god is kind of like that. It's like a overprivileged celebrity that we have exerted all of our life force to. But when we stop and we go inside in this new age, this is what's happening, because it's all about the God within. The last age was about the God without, outside. And so naturally this whole thing will fall down once we go back inside, right? We're going back through the dark void womb, back through the eye of the needle for this transcendence and this birthing, period that we're going through. There's so much coming in right now. And I don't know why the Cosmic Bible is really, really, I can feel the impressions from that. Everything that book said is coming true in this moment. I just remember this very powerful line. We will stop many hearts. We will stop many hearts. But it's because there's a change coming. It's to clear out the old stagnant code. This war is to clear out the old stagnant energy. And once that it gets clear, it opens you up to your true, authentic code, your true, authentic energy without any additives or fragmentations. You're getting access to you, your DNA. That's what's happening. But do you see how we flip that? As if everyone, yes, we're still talking about the war and everyone's complaining and they're mad at the people who voted for Trump. And like, you know, I heard this one guy say, I'm not going to forgive you. You voted for Trump through all 3 times. Already we have a problem, sir. You just said the cardinal sin. You're not going to forgive. Who do you think that's hurting? It's hurting you because now you have to hold that pain. It takes a lot to be angry at someone. You have to work at that stuff. That stuff just doesn't come. You have to keep putting the blocks up. Keep rehearsing what they did. Woe was me. Woe is me. You have to work at it to have the unforgiveness. And so there's a lot of energy that we can listen to right now that will put you in the fear and the famine, because the famine is coming. And a lot of people's stomachs will hurt. And the famine will come in unexpected places as well. Famine ain't coming to Africa, beloved. They'll be okay. They know how to survive. The famine is coming to unexpected places. Okay? Yeah. Unexpected places. And so learning how to fast is paramount. Learning how to just be within the stillness is important. This is when you do your most spiritual work. When I'm fasting, I like to tune into one of my other senses. So like I'll take a lot of baths when I'm fasting because you get the sensory, the sense of touch and the sensory and the water is really good. So that's just one way if you need to fast or if you are in famine, then just focus, I'll call you back. Focus on that. Just focus on that. One of your other senses, that tends to work for me. Let's see here. This is such a chill conversation, guys. You guys have no idea. I don't know what has happened, but I just feel very positive, and there's a difference that I totally feel of like losing my father versus when I lost my mother in 2017, how I'm more spiritually equipped to handle this. And in fact, you don't have to do this. Source, your ancestors, your guides will do this for you. I feel the presence of them so much, and it's not like I can feel like individual. No, it's just a peace, a perfect peace. That is a fruit of a spirit that comes from source. How can you have perfect peace while going through something so painful? This is what I always kept saying about source. This is how you will know if you're getting the infinite source. Source will never leave you in any situation without a little bit of comfort. Source sews a blanket for each one of us in the spirit. I've seen it. I've seen people's like blankets. They look like quilts that are quilted together. And I guess that's a way of source patching you up, right? You will never be left without a little bit of comfort, even when you're going through something uncomfortable or something very painful. And it's such a difference. And I want this peace for everyone. It's a beautiful peace, but I know this peace can only come from source. Is the engine behind my peace. I don't even think I understood peace until now. You won't know peace until you need peace. You won't know it. So you got to go through something, because remember, God is an action word that has to be experienced through doing good works. So we will be fine, everyone. We will be fine. We're going to be more than fine. My sister-in-law took some photos. I want to share this with you because it is a very cinematic moment that was captured. And I never thought I could see so much beauty in mourning someone. And I didn't see it until I saw this photo. I mean, it is just, it's amazing to see the journey that happens in life. In all areas of life is beautiful. When a baby is born, it's beautiful. You know, when someone gets married, it's beautiful. Even, you know, when you have a really bad breakup, it's still beautiful because there's a purge from the tears. There's a lesson learned. There's a new beginning. Look at all the beautiful things that you get to experience when there's change, right? So I will kind of explain this photo to you guys. I want to make sure you guys are seeing this. Yeah. So I am right here on this left side here. That's where I am. And I have my eldest brother in the back with a cowboy hat. And it's my niece there. She's a twin. And then there's my brother Yusuf here with the head wrap on, his daughter Imani, and his son Yusuf. And then my sister Aisha, and she's comforting someone here. And I don't know why, this really struck a chord with me of and I want to kind of say this in a way of, sometimes we don't understand how that something beautiful can come out of pain. There wasn't any posing, right, in this picture. Nowadays, everything is staged and everything is posing and everything's for the gram. But this was just a really, truly raw moment that was just captured. And we really get to see the stages of grief and get behind the minds of the characters here, right? Because the world is a stage, right? So as I look right in the center, my energy draws me right to the three in the center. So my brother, his son, and his daughter, right? And it's interesting because she's holding a red rose, right? Because we were throwing the red roses on top of the casket, you know. But she's almost holding it as if, I'm going to leave this one behind so I can save a piece of you with me, right? So I'm kind of reading this energetically. And that's quite beautiful. And we all kind of wore our indigenous feathers in our hair, because my dad had a Moorish kind of themed service where the inside of his casket was lined with the Moorish American flag, and then draped over the casket was the American flag because he is a veteran. He served in the Vietnam War. But that was very beautiful. It is almost like I'm going to hold back on, I'm going to keep this rose to myself. It's like a comforting thing. And then I have like, it's almost like my brother Yusuf is kind of looking off to the side. And it's almost as if what I'm picking up on is he's, you know, the time where you're staring off into space. This is actually when you drop into a little bit of hypnosis where you're there, but you're not there, right? He's kind of in that state, but he has his hand on, you know, one hand on his daughter and one hand on his son, you know, and then I look, you know, it's a very interesting as his daughter's looking down, right? She's almost looking down in the moment. She's existing within the moment. You know, this is my grandfather. This is very real. And also too, like, you know, it's also the grandmother too, because, you know, they were a package deal. They were always together. So she's looking down at what was, as of his son is looking up to what could be and the forward movement energy. And so between the three of them, we have all of these different states that they find themselves in. One being very present and almost not wanting to move past the moment. One saying, I'm going to face this head on. And the other one that has almost dropped into another state of mind to maybe possibly pull out something that could be useful because the moment is so real. Right? So I just thought it was beautiful to kind of read this. And then, you know, I really am drawn to my brother in the back. So I'm wearing this black hat here and glasses. And my eldest brother, he looks like a cowboy here, but it's very interesting. He's like looking, he's hanging in the background, right? And he's kind of looking off in the distance to almost separate himself from like the situation, the grieving, but he's also having a moment. Even though he's separated himself, he's still very much so grieving and thinking and reflecting. And it feels like he's saying, what now? It feels like he's saying, what now? And then, you know, it's interesting. So my sister over here, and she's cradling someone, I'm not even sure who that is, you know, kind of has their head on her chest. And it's kind of interesting because, you know, of course she was, you know, in tears during the service, but now she has to find her strength to help heal someone that is younger. So it's almost like this, I'm going to sacrifice my own feelings and emotions right now in this moment and pep myself up to nurture and care for someone else in this moment. Then I guess I'll read myself as well. Because I think I know what I was thinking, but I just want to read the picture. It feels very much like trying to hold it together, right? And almost like this kind of quiet, I'm hearing like a quiet resilience of like trying to be strong for everyone else. So almost like not showing emotion so that I could energetically support the scene, the event. And this is on par with my soul, right? When you are empath, you feel responsible for everyone's energy. So what I'm understanding in this photo is that I need to transmute this, because this person, as I look at myself, is holding the energy for everyone there. And that can be a lot. But my soul has done this over and over again. But this is something that my soul wishes to now release faster. Doesn't mean that I won't support people, but I want to be able to hold that space and then transmute that immediately. So I think I'll do some of that this evening. There's a lot happening in this picture, but it just goes to show you that everyone grieves differently. Some of us are looking in the moment, and some of us are looking forward, and some of us are looking to escape, and some of us are finding our strength to move forward, and some of us are holding space for other people. But it's all part of the interconnectedness that I speak of, the woven, the exact change. We were all where we needed to be. We were all in the energy, because we are a collective field, right, as a family, because it's all DNA. So one of our, a part of us is in the moment, right here, right now. Another part of us is looking forward. Another one is comforting the other parts of us, right? And the other one is holding space just for everything to be what it's going to be. Yeah. And it looks like my brother in the back, he's about to take some action as well with the hat on. Like he's about to take some action. But he needs to process it, right? So that is that. But there's a perfect peace. I mean, this is how you know that you're with source. So a lot of people are like very afraid when they, break away from organized religion. They just want to know, is God still with me? You will know God when you see God through your works, because God is an action word that has to be expressed through the goodness vibration. And you will know when you go through something and you feel a perfect peace, even though you might be in the middle of a storm. This is source. This is when you do the work. This is what the work reveals. This. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to experience this so that I can articulate this of what it even feels like when you do the work. And after doing the work for so many years and then having this happen, but still feeling the perfect peace. I've never felt this before. But it's because your energy will spring forward in this season, because you have exact change. You're exactly where you need to be. Everything has been organized for you to move you forward. And so I want us to take this message and separate yourself from the world right now, because the wheat from the chaff are separating. The haves and the have-nots. The wheat from the chaff. What is of substance is this. What is not of substance is talking about you're not going to forgive someone because they voted for Trump and now there's a war. That's death talk. Because Satan is an energy that has to be experienced in order to exist. So why not speak life? Why not? Thank you guys so very much. Well, that's the channel for this evening. And yeah, there's so much to bring to you guys in the next, days and weeks. And Source is really doing a big one. Like, I just walked into a situation today, like just a blessing. because you have exact change. Exact change. So soon, you guys will be able to have sessions with me in person, right? So I'll let you know when that will happen and where I will be. But that's the new phase where the in-person healings will happen, and it's because the energy field supports that. It's all about the exact change, because you have changed, you have shifted, and the energy springs forward to meet you in this new season of expanded consciousness. I want to say hi to everyone in the chat, and hello to all of my beautiful sisters and brothers and light workers. Thank you for being here and tuning into this vibration. I am going to go ahead and get out of here. I love you. I love you. I love you. And so it is as we walk together in divine love. Be well. Be well, guys. Bye.